besties! Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a really long time since I did a speed build on my channel. I actually did this one a while ago. This is the Beans wedding venue. If you don't know about Beans, go ahead and check out my Rags to Riches, really any of my Rags to Riches challenges. That includes The Sims 1 and The Sims 2 because she's made appearances in those. But Beans is kind of like a slob, hot mess, all around husband murderer type of sim. Anyway, in my recent episode of Rags to Riches, she married Bob Pancakes. Things did not go very well, mostly because the pack is still broken. Hello? Okay, are you guys gonna nothing is happening. Hello? Yeah, this is broken. Okay, can we just can y'all just have guests throw rice? We'll do that then instead since nobody's exchanging any vows. Hello? What the heck? Nothing is happening. Caleb, do something. Please help. This is so broken. They haven't moved in 3 sim hours. But anyways, so specifically for this wedding, I wanted to do kind of like a trashy theme just because Beans is an overall slob. I kind of thought, what kind of wedding would Beans have? I don't think she'd have a traditional wedding where they'd, go to a chapel, or Beans doesn't even strike me as the type of person to get married in front of an Elvis in Vegas. I feel like she would kind of thrift pieces and parts of her wedding. Specifically, you'll see here, all of the chairs that I put down the aisle are completely different. Maybe it's like a bring your own chair event, or maybe she just went to the Goodwill to grab a few seats just so she could have them. I don't really know. I just know that I wanted it to be chaotic and gross. Surprisingly enough, when I tried to post this on the gallery, it would not let me upload it under the term redneck, which I don't understand. I don't think that that's an offensive term, and that's a very well-used term where I'm from. I definitely wanted to use the bus bar from the Werewolves pack and then have grills. I do know that I wanted her to get married on the beach, but I thought it would be a really trashy beach. This is kind of reminiscent of the few of the beaches up on Lake Erie. That's kind of my take on it. Now, granted, these beaches aren't as trashy as this. I just had to give it that special Beans touch. I knew for sure that I wanted to have a dumpster on the property surrounded by trash and garbage. And surprisingly, not that surprisingly, during the wedding, Beans tried to dig in the trash. She is known for digging in the trash quite frequently. I just didn't expect her to do it on her wedding day of all places. I went into the debug menu and I pulled out a few piles of trash. Now, a lot of these look exactly the same, even though they're labeled differently. So I don't know if that's just because they're from different packs and they wanted to have trash options in different packs in the debug mode, but those definitely came in handy. But like I said, a lot of them just ended up looking the same. I'm not really the best at the debug menu. I try not to use it as much as possible in my builds just because it's super hard to navigate. There is a lot of stuff in it though that's really helpful, but it can be very overwhelming. I did want to do something simple just because I did not want to make this a humongous build and add a ton of detail in it. I feel like there's a lot of detail in it for what it is, but it's not too overwhelming. Honestly, I did kind of go back after I finished this build. You'll notice here later on in the video that I built a pit. I am not the greatest with the terrain tool, but I definitely know I wanted to have a pit full of garbage. Later on, before I uploaded this to the gallery, I did actually end up putting a skeleton from the Jungle Adventures pack in that hole. I did have to use the tool mod to kind of lay it down in there to make it look like it was a dug up body. And that took a little getting used to. I don't use the tool mod very frequently, but it is very handy to have in situations like this, especially if you want to give your build that little bit extra something. Sometimes what I'll just do is I'll just go through the build by menu and kind of look for things that maybe stick out to me. That's why sometimes these builds take me a little bit longer than they usually would. I kind of go in having an idea of what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted this to be a trashy beach, but I did buy a lot of the packs all at the same time, so I tend to forget what is actually in the build by menu until I actually see it. Specifically, you'll see me in a little bit put some dead fish out onto the beach. I did use the tool mod to kind of move those closer to the shoreline just because they sat too far back on the lot and didn't look super realistic. I did size them up and push them out to the shoreline so they kind of look like they died and washed up on shore. I don't know what it is with me and these like gross, disgusting, trashy builds. I think just because like I really like to use my imagination and I really deal with real life way too often. But I kind of feel like this is realistic in some part of the world. You know, maybe Myrtle Beach. I don't know. This build's located in Tortosa, and watching this back, I totally forgot in build mode, I placed like 1,000,000 mosquito swatches. So if you place this world down and then go into live mode, there's gonna be mosquitoes everywhere. Unfortunately, my Sims were not swatting them away. I think that kind of be like a really cool animation to have. It just added that special touch of trash, you know? I tend not to do speed builds on my channel very often just because I run out of things to say, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment down below. It really helps me out. I don't really have an upload schedule right now. I try to upload at least once a week, so please bear with me. Until the expansion pack comes out, I am kind of burnt out on The Sims, so you'll notice that the games that I am playing and streaming are probably going to be a lot different, so please bear with me. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. all those mosquitoes. Hello.